build fast, shift fast. The goal is to make sure every kid in Tanzania have quality education. Up to date, we are proud to help more than 5,000 teachers doing so. Agree with me, things are changing very fast. 20,000 people with zero spending to marketing. I wish one day I become a minister in education. Talent acquisition, it's a problem. Changes begins with me. I think what we lack here in Tanzania is only exposure. The world is changing. We're in 2021, getting to Combinator. Getting a wife is easy, but getting a co-founder, it's a very hard thing.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Be Agile. Today, I'm joined by a good colleague and friend, Adam Duma from Silabu. We are going to learn from the work that he does at Silabu. This is the guy with his team and partners have won multiple awards. They've been able to raise in multiple areas to build their solutions. An interesting part about this conversation today, Adam is a non-technical founder, very smart one, by the way, who have been able to build his solution from the university a couple of years now. And they have a great mission of empowering more than 1 million teachers in Africa to earn extra living by teaching what they love. Now, Adam, take us away. You mind introducing yourself to our audience, people who do not know about Adam, and a little bit about Silabu, and let's start from there.
Yeah, so my name is Adam Duma, and as you said, I'm a non-technical co-founder of Silabu. At Silabu, we are helping students after their normal school hours to get connected to teachers. So we are helping them to connect them with the students so they can provide extra studies at home or online through our platform. That is what we have been doing for almost 6 years now. And I think we are the leading in that area in EdTech. And so far we have coming up with also a solution which helps students to study with their friends in groups. And this helps those students who can't afford to get a home teacher for one-to-one class. Now if they have the similar learning interest, example, maybe in biology, they want to tackle maybe a topic on respiration. Now they contribute and they learn from the same teacher. And this is working like a Uber pool where you share the costs. Yeah. And another one we call it peer-to-peer learning. With this peer-to-peer learning, most of the students, you can agree with me, when we used to be in school, we used to teach each other some of the subjects. So we give a platform for people who have similar interests, want to teach one another, to join in those classes in a web app or mobile app. And then they learn with their friends. They can share material. They can have instant video chats. They can share voice notes. Works like how other platforms of communication they're working. So that is all work we have been doing here in Tanzania. And actually, up to date, we are proud to help more than 5,000 teachers doing so. So if the school want to shift online, it means they can use Silabu. We have all the required features to help that school to become an online school. So we will help you to bring students in, as will be marketers of your class, marketers of your contents, pushing it to students. We're working with people like a famous physics teacher, Mr. Mgote. He turned normal tuition center at Mchikichini to become an online learning center. So we are supporting him by giving him some facilities, by helping him with the features, uploading of the content, and all those kind of things. So that is all about Silabu, and that is how we do. But much, we're keeping coming up with different services, different products, which will make our teachers happy and anyone who is using Silabu happy. So we're keeping being innovative in that angle.
Very informative. I'll try to unpack that in a very brief words. Let me know if I'm correct about that, if I got that quite well. You get to bridge, you are the middle solution between teachers, students/parents, linking them up to be able to get that knowledge transfer for teachers to be able to gain that extra income through remedial classes and tuitions.
Yeah.
Funny thing you mentioned, Mr. Mgote, whoever did physics, he went through that huge pamphlet. So it's interesting that you like getting down to legendary people who literally have informal bachelor in education and empowering them to be able to educate. We'll dig that a little bit more, but I just need you to take us a little bit back.
Yeah, sure.
How did we land into building Silabu as an idea? How did you develop a passion in venturing into that and disrupting a technology that? Tell us a little bit backstory of that so that we can relate more of Silabu with all these achievements for the past 6 years.
So actually, I'm not the one actually coming up with the idea of Silabu. So my co-founder, who is the CEO of the company, Salvatory, actually the one who came up with this idea of Silabu. But I do remember he was getting done with his master's in University of Southampton. It was 2018. And in the same manner, I won like a undergraduate-based project in the first research week at University of Dar, Salaam. So when I was sharing my joy, I actually posted the picture. So Salvatore get interested. He's a very curious man, and I'm proud working with him. So he just reached out to me like, hey, bro, I have this idea when I come to Tanzania. Can we meet? And I tried to look on how we can build it. He trusted me, though I was still a student, a second-year student. So when he came to Tanzania, we meet at Grana Coffee. He just shared with me, like, I have this idea of connecting students to tuition centers by using technology. So we had a couple of chats, and until the end, we agreed, why not connecting parents/students to teachers? Let's leave now the tuition centers. Now let's focus with that business to customers. So then we agreed in some terms, and he has a good connection with people. So he was able to pull his friend called Darafin Kimario, who is a co-founder also and the CTO of the company. So when Serafin came up, now Salvatore decided to call other people because of their background and everything. Like he has friends who used to work for marketing for companies like Vodacom. He has friends who working for insurance. He has people. So he bring like a group of 8 people and asked us to build with him together the smart class before. It was a really interesting conversation. But I was curious with how fast we built first the first version of smart class. I do remember I was like 23, going 24 when all this started. So there is that high thing. I want to do something different. I want my name to stand there. Like I was here doing this. And I was really interested because at that time, they are good friends also working in EdTech, and I have to salute them, like brother like Isaiah Yonge with Soma App. He came at University of Dar es Salaam. I used to attend those conferences. So I see smart class is an opportunity. So we carried that conversation, but at the end, what happened? We remained 3 people out of that. I, Serafin, and Salvatore. Salvatore just appointed me like, so now I'll be in charge of all the activities. You be the marketing of this service, be the face of this company, be in front to this company. Show it's time. You used to tell me it's time to show your skills. Today you're not in Silabu, someone from Vodacom, IPF software, or whatever can say, Adam can market our product. Let's give Adam this opportunity. So he told me, you're building your career through this. You're building experience. Because even if you go somewhere and want a job, people, they won't take you because you don't have experience. But you can build this to 5 years. So he was like manipulating me so I can stick with that product. So I told him it's okay. Then I do remember, first of my task is to go to Miladiayo and get our first interview. And I went there to Miladiayo because Miladiayo at that time used to stay at Msewe, the other part of university. So I just sneak there. I just go there, knock, and talk a lot, and we got our first interview. That first interview changed everything, and that's why sometimes I see people say it in social medias, like especially Twitter. If you're a first founder, don't show yourself to medias. Don't talk about yourself. Don't do this. But for us, it was a different case. It opened doors. Now people, they are curious. What is smart class? What is this? These guys are brilliant and that. And we didn't stop there. So I keeping pushing hard. And we went to East Africa TV. We get a lot of medias, a lot of people starting know. So the product was marketing itself, but also I really need to appreciate people from Twitter. They didn't know us, our profile, but they retweet our posts. They say it's a good product. We grow that way. We build with that community. And we get somewhere. I don't remember until we came to raise our first seed round. We had 20,000 people in that Silabu community with zero spending to marketing. It's just that way, talking, chatting, and all those kind of things. So that is how we get the Silabu, the smart class from the ground until somewhere in the air where it is now. Other things happens, like with that, we didn't have an office. We get incubated at University of Dar, Salaam. We really appreciate them. That is where we started our journey. The administration is very good. Those guys help us with all issues about compliances. You can agree with me. Most regulated area by government, education is also among them. So they help us, University of Dar es Salaam, make sure we're complying with all those things legally. They give us an office where we sit there. We didn't pay any bills or whatever. So the incubation was cool.
Nice. My curiosity is, you were very young then, second year of university, studying actuarial science.
Of course.
For people who, like, that is a little bit mouthful to them, it is a study of mathematics and statistics. Only very smart people who started PCM and passed, got some couple of A's, they'll go into that class. Based on my knowledge, I think does not exceed about 20 people, maybe in per intake or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, I actually just found about actuarial science a couple of months ago, and most of them, they get employed by second year or third year. They already have, like, a promise of a job.
Yeah, of course they do.
Now, where I'm heading with this is that spirit of entrepreneurship. What did Salvatory tell you in that vision that got you hooked? Probably you were also a vice president, and probably you are doing good at school by then. And what did it feel for you to have such responsibility, being trusted with such responsibility at that very young age of being the face of the company and, leading the company in terms of like media and positioning it at that young age? So I know these are two questions. Looking for you to unpack them.
Yeah, so maybe what I can say is, like, for me, an inspirational role model to my life, I'll always be clear. I see other people right now, I read them from the books, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and all those, but they're not people who inspired me to the journey of entrepreneurship. My mother is the person who inspired me to the journey of entrepreneurship. She was a risk taker. I've seen her growing from very small business until to somewhere now you can say, unajua, mtu anatoka labda alikuwa na mgahawa, ametoka hapo mpaka ana duka lake la jumla. You can know that what I'm trying to speak in 2000s up to 2010 or 12. You understand what I'm trying to speak? Because I've seen her doing multiples entrepreneurial things, selling this, selling that, having a small firm, mama mboga mboga, and all those things. And at the end, today, she has a business which bring her income without much hassle. I practiced the entrepreneurship when I was secondary school. When it's time for buying donuts to go for tea time, I buy extra because we don't get another time. When it's evening during studying time, I sell to people, I double the price and they still buy. So it's something which I started longer time ago with it. And I had this idea in technology with a friend who used to be my roommate at University of Dar Hall 1. So it's like developing a software, we used to call it softboard, which can help students to have an instant information from different departments at university. They let you know if it's about health, if it's about Daruso, if wherever activities. I didn't have money. I don't have a parent to sponsor that. I don't know if investors exist or grant exist. And I have this picture of mine I really wish to share with you. Show my room at home. At a very young age, I used to write a lot of paper, a lot of things. One day I was chatting with my brother. He's an engineer. So he told me, my blood brother, he told me, young man, listen to me. The good you are, the way you are ambitious, the knowledge you have, but here in our country, in order to get there, education is the only weapon can take you there. So get back to school. I applied for actuarial science. I get selected in 2017. I was 22 years of age. I joined there. I went to first research week at University of Dar, Salaam, Department of Mathematics, with that project of softboard. The idea which I used to have, which take me to get out of the school, and I present it, and I won that cash prize from NBC. And that's how it links up me with Salvatory and how it's bring all of these things. So the spirit of entrepreneurship, I think the guy just put some petrol in it by telling me that it's going to work, you see. So, and I believe him it's going to work because he has achieved several awards in education and he still is he has very good entrepreneurship mindset. So there is this old man, he inspired me also with this, like, try a lot of things and fail at 20s because you will not have a room to fail at 30s. So I was thinking like I have a chance to play. If it's I'm a kid in a pitch, play as much as you can because when it gets dark, you'll go home. So I said, let me play. So I feel confident like actuarial science community here in Tanzania. They're always pulling each other up. It's a small community, but good people with a kind heart. So they're always willing to push one another up. They push smart class to parents. They share our materials to everyone. So we are everywhere. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, with zero spending or begging someone to do so. Things happen at the right time and the good willing of the people who are behind that thing. That is what I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You're still at your 20s. You have that burning desire in you.
Of course.
And being a mathematician and actuarial scientist, probably you have the curves calculated. Like by this time, Silabu will be there. But I know it's different with entrepreneurship. All right.
Of course.
Now it has been 6 years.
5 to 6.
5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Now you and your founder, you had to bring in, you and Salvatory, you had to bring in a technical founder who helped you to set up that foundation.
Of course.
Of getting your solution out first. Okay. Tell me about the moment you first have that, what's the dream realized, and it's something that is tangible already as an app or web, having it first content being delivered for someone being able to teach.
So first of all, I really love to appreciate people who put their mind to something. So our technical co-founder, Seraphin, is a great guy because he takes sleepless nights to build a software, a working web app where it allows parents to do bookings of teachers, where teachers, they can register, they can have L assessment, elevating before having an oral vetting with us, I or Salvatory, depends with the criteria which we put. So Seraphin used like 2 months to build that thing. I remember it was almost going to the Easter of 2019. This parent did a booking. He booked one class for 20,000. And she pays through bank and things works. the money is in our account. We're very, very happy. We see, okay. So someone tried and it works. We just went to Mibs there at Sinza. We grabbed a kitimoto and a beer, and we are happy and say, okay, guys, let's get back to work. So things went well. It was a great feelings, concept of proof, and it was taking us in 2020, by the way, when COVID came. Things went real bad, and actually I'm really sorry for that. Some friends lost their parents. A lot of things happened, but in terms of business, to Silabu was a celebration, because that was a time school were closed, parents were worrying about the kids are not going to school, staying at home, no platform to make them study. I do remember we had some couple of medias like DW, Milada, TBC. Everyone was asking us, what we have been seeing you time to time to Twitter, your online platform. What can you else do, right? Now kids studying online through smart class. Only platform we did that during COVID time. So the awareness, and see more parents asking, referring each other to come to use our product. That was a great feeling. And that is how we get off of the ground at high speed. Our curve changed completely. You see? So it was still a great feeling going from this house to this house. Some of the parents even asking, can you visit us, and helping us to get to know how to use that. So we had meetings with teachers online and teaching them how they can help parents through that after they get booked. It's actually, I can say, it's a great feeling. Going 2021, get into Combinator, and we pitched. It's the first time. I think it's amazing. We did our normal application in 2021. We got accepted to the interview stage, because in that application they ask you, what are you going to build? Leave alone this, can tell about what you have now, but what you are going to build will determine if you'll get to the interview stage. They are really excited with what we are going to build. One of the partners of Y Combinator asked us the question, like, you guys, you have a good product, but I see like it's in Figma. What is the plan? How long will it take for you guys to launch this? You see, I think that is where makers didn't not get to Y Combinator, because Y Combinator, they have their values like build fast, ship fast. That is what always across when you go to their learning material, their video, they are emphasizing founder to do that. And that was a question for the technical founder. So actually the guy's sales will take like maybe 3 months. He didn't know the thing. So they asked us to keep in touch. So we get an email. We are not going to that S21 batch because we applied during summer. So they ask us, but we can keep in touch with them, milestone and whatever, and you can try another time, you see. But for them only to tell us what you are going to build is a good product, it's a proof of concept from the first paying customer of Smart Class. Coming COVID, people, they are stranded, they don't know where to keep getting quality education services. Going to a Combinator interview stage, a 10-minute interview, you are told by expertise partners, you are building something great.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting that you mentioned COVID and the growth of your product.
Yeah,
and from building the first user paying, and I can imagine the feeling you had to go and blow off steam a little bit on that. Now, I just give me a little bit of relevance, just briefly, if you remember the numbers before the pandemic to the pandemic, how did like that skyrocket and help your growth as a platform? Because everyone was struggling.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the number, but I do remember the ratios. What I can say, student ratio were smaller than teachers. But now it changed around. The students, the numbers skyrocket, and it has remained there up to date. Actually, also, we want quality teachers who serves our clients, you see. So that's why, as in our early chat, I told you, we divide these teachers in 3 groups. There are those who are incoming. Then we have another group called assistant teachers. And then we have senior teachers. So we have put a lot of parameters to make sure that those parameters, they're emphasizing on quality, retention, and a lot of things which can make our product get the actual value, which it will be actual value to the parents because the one who will pay the money to get the service from us. A few committed teachers who will make our customers happy. You see, even one teacher can have 5 students, no problem in our end, rather than having 3 teachers having one students. Do you see? But the quality is poor.
Nice. I have a question following up onto that, basically on adaptability, because when COVID came, it obviously accelerated the digital savviness and adaptability of almost everyone who was challenged. People had to learn how to use, online tools and everything. In Tanzania, it is prohibited for students to go with phones at school.
Agree.
To use those tools and whatsoever.
Yeah.
But as well, even back home, when students go back, like parents this day, they get to, the awareness of digital screens and students and trying to be a little bit strict with using gadgets and different technology tools. Okay. Now, you are in an area of like battling between technology adaptability, encouraging students and parents to use technology to educate themselves and learn. How are you facing that challenge as Silabu? I can just imagine. I'm a father of one daughter and I am really, really much worried and, curious on how can be able to, guide our daughter toward the internet and consuming of the materials on the internet. I can just imagine with technology, with Silabu being an education platform for kids.
Okay. So what I can try to say is like, it is true. Kids are not allowed to go to school with a phone and all those kind of things. But that's why Silabu is a offline, online platform or online, offline platform. Because we experienced this from the first time. Most of the parents need old ways of doing things. So few who have exposure with internet or they have the digital literacy, so they choose to go digital, right? As a business, we need to make money. So the business can, to drive sustainability in the business. So we need to make money. We didn't choose to focus on one way. That's why we have a calling center whereby we have official number. Parents who want the teacher offline, they can call, their data can be kept well, and they can be served on time. If you feel like I can go to Silabu web app or mobile app and do direct booking to the teacher who is near my location, it's well and good. You can do that, right? But in terms of business, we really care about saving both either offline or online. It is true that when COVID came, push a lot of parents to be digital, right? But parents forget quickly about all those things after COVID went off and everyone wants old ways. You see, that's why some of the parents right now, price can't be an issue, but I feel like I went to tuition in Chikichini, Mwenge, or anywhere, if it's in Arusha, Uhuru, Levolos, whatever. My kid can still go there and learn it cheaper and whatever, without measuring things like my kid will get a quality teacher. Is it true that kid is going to tuition? If he fails and he always goes to tuition, is it my problem or her problem? Without considering all other factors, the parent just say, it's doing things as usual. I went to tuition, you can go to tuition. Why should I use Silabu? Those kind of things are happening, you see? But one thing which I can say is like, the world is changing. You see, the world is changing. I'm among the tutors of Silabu. And if a parent wants a tuition service and I see I can teach maths, physics, or chemistry, I can still do it because I'm good in those areas. So I get a chance also to, what I'm trying to speak here is I saved this one of the customer. He has a good profile in one of the banks here in Tanzania. So he saw me, someone recommended me to help find a great teacher for her kids. And then she asked me, but you guy, you did actuarial, so like, how can't you help my kids in maths? Me, I want you see? I told her it's okay. So I go and help her kid. But when I help her kid, I ask her, do you allow technology in her home? Because she was asking me to give her kid more past papers, more questions. But you can look, Silabu app, it has a lot of quizzes. A kid can just be like playing a game because those things are gamified right now. You are doing a quiz while enjoying. See the leaderboard, competing with friends. Competition is important in whatever we do. You see, do positive competition way. Do a lot of things. If you want past papers with the marking scheme, they are there at Silabu app or our web platform. But this mother, all kids have tablets, but he restricts the kids to use the tablets at least maybe every weekend, twice a week, she told me. But still, she was asking me to come with a pamphlet with past papers. Well, those things are still in the Silabu app. I tried my best to convince her, and she get to understand. And I told her, right now there is a lot of tablets are coming up. They're centralized only for learning purpose. They have parents control. They have a lot of things. I have this partner of ours. It's called Elimtab. These guys are from Kenya. They're supplying hundreds, thousands of tablets to parents in Kenya. And here in Tanzania, some of our clients who are using Silabu, they are buying those tablets from them because those tablets, they have Silabu app inside it. It has parents control. You can leave it to your kid to do anything with that if all things are put well. Because we give you parent control so that you can limit the access of your kid so that can have only focus with these apps which are helping her or him for studies purpose, right? So I think what we lack here in Tanzania is only exposure and also agreeing by ourselves that the old ways are already old. Now we need to build new ways. I can give you an example. Now, in the next 15 years, let's look at Kenya. Most of the bookings of the tutoring services are done through our mobile app. Few people are calling us, but majority, and once we tell you can do the booking online, they just do it. You see? You can just look at how Nigeria, they are growing in terms when it comes to technology. Or you can just look at the map of the fundraising and all those things. You can only agree with me. Things are changing very fast. Swahili say like, hakuna mtu atakulelea mtoto wako. That's what Swahili people say. It means you have to, as a parent, you need to get exposure. You need to get to know a lot of things so that you can help your kid to adapt with the coming trend of the world. Do you get it? And you can learn it in a positive way. So give a chance to your kid to play around tablets, to learn digitally, to have Silabu app with them. Learning ask, even if your kid recognize there is a bug here, this button is not working. That kid can be curious. Why is not working? Ask you as a parent, why is not working? If you tell this is a technical problem, that kid will say, oh, okay, it's a technical problem. So now if parents in Tanzania, they are not eager to that level, it means it will be a problem. We have a generation which are like people from Stone Age, which is not true. All things are here. You see, we need to compete with Kenya. We need to compete with Nigerians and other people like Ethiopians. They're coming. Rwanda, they're coming. They're very fast. Everything in technology. Now, I think policymakers in education sector, they need to look at these things. They need to calm down, talk to all people who are building tech along education. Ask them, what have you built? How can we create a policy which can make these things be more usable? Bring all those apps which help kids in Tanzania to access better quality education. Ask parents, build a policy, build a way you can speak about them in a positive way. Even if there are people, we are making money out of it. It's not us making money out of it. Teachers are making money out of it, you see. So look on how you can elevate all those things by policies or whatever ways which you can choose so that people, they get used to this kind of digital. Let's see next 15 years. But for us, it's not a problem because we said like we need to build a scalable business. A scalable business, I mean like a product which can be used in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and beyond Africa. Yes.
But tell me about how does it feel? You are not originally from technology, but you built up that passion of technology from the notice board at university.
Yeah.
So you believe in technology.
Of course.
Now, how does it feel when you get to meet your client now, you say, a parent, being resistant? Now, you mentioned Kenya, and congratulations, by the way, scaling up to Kenya. How is it different with adaptability to Kenya? Your time going there, launching in Kenya, parent receiving it and adapting to it compared to the effort you used in the country?
Yeah, of course, Kenya internet penetration is good. Digital literacy is good. Also, literacy rate to them is good compared to what we have. People are so exposed to globalization. And you can see a large percent of like 80% of the bookings are done through our web app or our mobile app by parents. And few who are making calls are the ones who ask more, like to know like where your office is located, where this is that, and this is that. You see? But that is what I can say. Kenyans are very far. And I see that in terms of usage of the platform, that number can go high compared to us. But it might maybe have a slight changes on it. One example I can give, because I love also to learn what our competitors in different markets they're doing. So like here, I have this competitor, I can name X, is from Kenya. They try to ship their product here in Tanzania. But schools to accept them, because it's a management system to schools. Schools to accept them, it's a problem. Either it's a private school or it's a public school. It's hard to accept those software. But you can look at that software. They bring software which can help you to manage all the activities to students, starting with the materials, going to reporting, all those things, they're in that tool. You see, even teachers, they don't want to use that. But the same guy is serving more than 6,500 schools in Kenya. You see, you can feel the difference of what the Kenyans thinks. You see, their Institute of Education, what they actually think about the educations, where it comes from, where it goes. You can see. Now, even I do remember I went to this Y school, despite of it doing good here in Tanzania, being like one of the top schools. I got there and just pitching about our new web app, which also has a part of management system, helping like schools to go online, helping students to have remedial classes. Also, it can assist in some of the operation of the school. I just tell them this software is for free. You see, I just talked to them. I had a good meeting. But you can look, two guys who are in that position, but they're not decision makers. They are happy. I can talk about the headmaster and also the second master. They are very happy about this is going to help. We know Silabu, we only see Silabu. You guys, you have a cool product, but we're not decision makers. We will tell the owner of the school. They went to the owner. The owner says like, it's something we can build. So if you go to 5 schools that are telling you something they can build, people that are not ready using these things, a lot of bureaucracy. I don't know if it's a problem of exposure. No, I don't think so. Because someone bring you something to use it. Some of the schools who up to now have agreed to use our administrative, that system we have built inside our web app. You see, the owners of those schools, they're having a lot of exposure. They see things in different angles. They say, let's try. But I think it's a problem. We'll get it slowly. But now if all schools decided to become digital, they do their normal operation or whatever digital, parents, the results are getting in hand. Why your kid fail history. They show you why he fails. They bring a video, tutorial video from Silabu app. Your kid can learn through this link why he failed these questions. All those things we can build in helping kids to succeed academically. One of our investors shared a report. It actually tells us the good buyers of parents listen much to schools. Parents listen much to schools. And who are people at school? Teachers. It means it's a maths teacher. If your kid is in Form 2, it means as a parent, you can go there and say, I need a Form 2 maths teacher. Why my kid is failing? The teacher will tell you the problems which your kid's facing. Do you see? Now, if parents are going to be told, your kid is failing maths, but you can get access to Silabu app, there is a lot of learning material, even parents will allow the kids to use the phones at their home because a teacher has recommended that. Now you can see where a problem starts. It means accepting. Parents are listening much to schools. Schools, they have teachers and students. So students, if they are failing to get exposed to technology, it's because of the schools' policies and whatever. But who govern the schools? It's the Ministry of Education. They have to do something about it. Building policies, bring people who are building tours or applications around education. The goal is to make sure every kid in Tanzania have quality education. Now, emphasize on using those technologies people are building. Build a generation where people, they have been using technology since they're grade 3. They understand how things are working. These people will be good programmers in the next 15 years. We won't be more talking about jobs, unemployment, those kind of things. Expose kids now. Let them use those education apps to learn and all those kind of things. That is what I can try to say. Kenyans, they have done this. Kenyans are good at it. They go with how the world is changing. Nigeria is doing so. We are in Abuja for EdTech conferences through Mastercard Foundation. People, they are using educational technologies, apps, Gradly, ULesson. People, they are using those things. Teachers teach Sabi. A lot of people, they are using those. Parents, they are using. They are exposing their kids to those educational apps. Our kids, they will have to fight so much in the next 20 years to come. And that's why you can agree with me. Now you can look at the ratio of the international schools which are emerging now in Tanzania. They are coming up a lot because there is a lot of changes when it comes to curriculums. Now most of the parents who are in our age, who have kids, they have money. They'll take their kids to Cambridge schools. They have much exposure. They'll go to other country to start. They'll remain there and they'll do job for other people earlier as remaining here. So we need to balance these things. I wish one day I become a minister in education. Yeah.
You offered like a platform to schools for free?
It's for free. You just use our platform. We give you insights about their learning. We'll show the parents like your kid has moved from grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. This is the trend in every subject and all those things. We are building all those things for you. And in case you want tuition services, you can book us. But all those insights and everything, recommendation, feedbacks, and comment, you get it for free. But schools now, they don't want to use those technology. They see things are hard, things are difficult. But I don't blame also schools because even some schools, they don't have even a computer lab. But that is not an excuse. Teachers, they have phones. A lot of teachers are in TikTok right now. Download this app and make sure you administer your class or your kids properly. I see no room for excuse. It's people, they don't want to adapt on something.
Technology.
Yeah.
Awesome. Adam, thank you so much. That has been so insightful.
Yeah.
So you have multiple platforms, and I believe you did not just build this all with your CTO.
Yeah.
At some point, you had to hire more technology talents.
Of course.
And from my experience, it's not been an easy journey building a technology solution in our space. Tell me a little bit how you handle it at Silabu and how you've been able to put together the engineering team. You still have the help from your CTO. How are you organizing and putting together the engineering team to build your product?
Yeah, so I'll talk about talent acquisition to the side of the business. It's a problem, both part, technical part, and also to the side of the business because of the different mindset first of people we are hiring, especially when you are having this profile as a startup. Right? Even if sometimes you try to offer good deals to them, some of the people, the willingness of being part of it. When you hire someone, once he's feeling that is a part of that thing you're building, you'll become more innovative. And as you do know that startup life, you just give people room to learn, to explore, to come up with ideas, to make the company move from stage A to stage B. Someone in the US is proud to work in a startup, maybe because they offer more good deals, and maybe he has perception that I can be part of this company. Once it's grow, it's become a big, huge thing. Maybe I'll just get some equity, some shares from this company, and then I can go out of this company and start something of my own, which make like a standard to someone. Like he can feel that I'm getting employed here. I can afford to pay some of my bills, but it's not a salary which can make someone to be more free on through it. You see, and you just also give good words like encouraging that person. One time will grow and will get somewhere. And all these things are not going to be fast. You see, just depends with what you guys are building. You see, yeah, and what much of customers are coming in to bring revenues to your company to drive sustainability, or how much good investors are willing to invest in that kind of startup. So you can see your friend hired, let's say, to fintech, which attracts more of investment. Fintech companies are more exposed to funds and they can pay good people. It depends with the sector, either it's health sector, climate sector, or EdTech sector. So sometimes if you have limited funds coming in, it means your talent, they feel like, oh, we are not doing, they are not paying us good. They also talk with people who are also working in startup. And some of the people who are employed are not even thinking of the exits part. If this company, when they exit, what as employees will benefit. They don't look at the outcome. They look at where we are now. They don't look further like how you founders, you look at it. You see, sometimes people, they have been exposed maybe to different companies and whatever. And you can think maybe once they come in with different background experience, they can help to move a company from point A or to B. But it turns out to be bad hiring sometimes. So you can end up with people, their contracts by agreement and everything. But once they get out there, they talk bad about your company, you see? So when it comes to hiring again, it becomes a really, really huge problem. We are in that life, you see? People coming, people go. And it's okay. Some do the best. They do great job until maybe your partners, they can take that person. And you are not feeling bad because you can't afford to pay him. And you are glad my employee as getting out of my company is going to my partner's company. So you are happy because you are looking to nurture another person with a similar charisma, attitude, aptitude, whatever the actions, getting things done. You are looking for another person like that. You see, so people can come from different background, but some can be a lawyer, but a good seller. So all those things. But now when it comes to the technical side, that is a very crucial part. To get really, really talent of people who are developer, either back end, front end, or whatever. You see, you name it. But those people are very hard to, first of all, it's not to manage. They're always listening, technical people, they're listening. They do what you ask. Do you see? That is true. To keep them, it's a problem. They have different offers, different opportunities every day. So someone just choose where I can stay. You see? So that is being a problem also to Silabu. You're competing with giant people like Vodacom, Tigo, Allotel, and Airtel, and other people where they're every day into technology, app software, compete with those people. They see someone is good at Silabu, they look at your user interface, how your features working, and that person can just say, next month I won't be here, guys. My mom is sick, so I think to take some time off. After a few times, you see someone is working somewhere. So it's hard to manage talent. We have been really, really into that, and sometimes we are lucky to have the CTO who is very dedicated, right? Actually, that department is the one which has a lot of people who are coming in, stay for some time, then they leave. It's not they are good or they didn't like to build to Silabu. They have better offers and they are gone. You see? Yeah, so maybe I advise a lot of people should take computer science studies, computer engineering studies, telecommunication engineering, all those things related to coding. Maybe, probably, it will help to have more talents in the Tanzanian startup ecosystem. And we can't compete much with big people, giants or medium enterprises. We won't be at that level. So at least you can see getting to a combinator. They always advise, if you're building, what Combinator is all about technology. It's either you all are technical founders or one has to be a technical founder. You see? So how you can be solo technical founder. They don't want solo non-technical founder. They have a lot of people doing coding every day. So maybe it has to reach a point to us also to have people, maybe even if you start low, but to develop a passion on coding.
That's interesting. Yeah. Your company is scaling to Kenya. Like, just highlight for me key lessons you did not think you go through or challenges. Tell me about the lessons you've learned and challenges you've learned scaling your product to Kenya.
Yeah, so when it comes up to scaling, it's always a thing of try and error and try to expose your products or your services to a new country. And, things won't be smooth out the way maybe it happens to your country because you know how much you can do things in your country rather than other people's country. So compliance was important, and education sector in Kenya is mostly regulated. So things were not as easy as we thought, because here in Tanzania we had a backup of an institution which they helped us to get all our compliances go through. It's not easy, but we had someone behind to help us to get all the compliance go through. So the same applied to Kenya. We get done with the compliance issues, but not in time. So launching of the product also, it needs like a backup of an institution for people to trust, because you need to build the credibility first. And then after credibility, it's always coming with visibility. We are visible to people who to take you through that. You can decide to push an ad on Instagram, but still you can get small number of people who are using your product, is it? Mm-hmm. So, but what if you have someone or an institution talk about you, that like how it happens with MasterCard last year. We were there in Kenya sometimes back, and we just get a traction which we got, but traction make much more sense after getting to MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship program, which they did it with iHub. It's a hub for startups and entrepreneurs in Nairobi. So those guys, after we get into that, we are lucky with our Kenyan company, Silabu Kenya. People started, we had some different conferences going, speaking about what we are doing, having a booth and showcase what you are building. So Kenyans start speaking, numbers start picking up themselves from there. And now referral starts coming in and all those kind of things. And that's how scaling happens. But people, they have their systems, people, they have their rules, their policies, and when it's your startup, whatever, so you need to get people to comply. And another thing is about having dedicated people or a team to help you to expand. When you scale, you need a team. So it's always challenge we are having with the team. talent acquisition from this end, it's similarly to that end. Even when I meet with other founders, when I go to Nairobi or other parts of the world, Ethiopia or whatever, they speak the same language when it comes to talent acquisition. So those are the things, all lessons we learned. So in the next scaling, another acquisition, maybe we'll look at a lot of factors, because what are the unit of economics in Kenya, what are the unit of economics in Tanzania? So you can predict what will be in Rwanda, what will be in Uganda, and so forth. So all of this consideration of all factors, bringing all together, trying to make things good out of it, I think it's very, very important once you want to scale. And at least another lesson is not go too hard. You can just take baby step on scaling, start somewhere and slowly grow to something, start the market, understand the market of particular people, especially if you're not a founder, found maybe an dedicated individual who have the similar passion to build like the way you want it to be built, who listening to you because you are the ones who know the mission and the vision of what you want. So if you get those things right, probability of you getting somewhere in that particular country is high. But if you didn't, maybe it will take time for you to get there. But always things are fast. You need to get done things fast, but not going hard for yourself. Yeah.
That's interesting. And I need to understand a little bit, because you had acceleration and you got some funding, but on the side here, you have partnerships.
Because with
Vodacom, partnership with NBC Bank, partnership with University of Dar es Salaam.
Of course.
I need to understand the role of those partnerships, how they've helped you grow from here, because back in the days, probably when you're starting, having a partnership with an MNO used to be a very big deal.
Of course.
And the disruption, the way it has gone now, to even, the banks are looking at who is innovating where, and probably easing up into their red tapes, into welcoming more startups with the innovation and how we can be able to work together.
True.
So the partnership you have there, almost in different dynamics a little bit. You have the government one with University of Dar es Salaam. Please speak about that separately. Mm-hmm. But as well, you have with MNO or with Vodacom, and you have at the banking sector as well. So you have cut across on areas that probably every startup wishes to at least get one of them on their back to push them forward. Sure. You have cut across through that, and for me, I think it's a win for Silabu.
Of course.
Generally, tell us about how does it for a young entrepreneur out there, for a young startup starting, the steps and the procedures and the persistence, probably the consistency you've been able to put together to get into that level. Is there any cheat sheet to getting into that? Or something like.
So when we talk about partnership, it means it's about being strategic. And when I'm saying it's about being strategic, it's about to look at what milestones you want to achieve. You see, maybe comparison of what, that's why they always say, give us the projections. Maybe give us your financial projections. Those financial projections, they're not coming from sky. They're coming from the lessons learned all the way. And it means whatever you are saying, it means you are looking, if maybe I was alone, what if I bring another person, we do the similar thing? What benefits will I get? What mutual benefits will I have from this person? Who will help me to get there? And once I'm getting there, it means that is what you are going to put in the financial projection for a particular year. So it starts all with a milestone. Then you just do strategy. So you do every partnership strategical. At the end, you benefit, and the person who you partner with benefits. We look like education is very most regulated area. We need someone, an educational institution, working with us hand by hand to support us when it comes to all things related to compliance. And luckily we got University of Dar es Salaam, and they're proud of one of their most achieving startups. And usually the directors tell me, like, you guys, we are happy for you, you see. So they helped us with all those things related to compliance. And the return is the work we are doing. It means it's not representing only Silabu, it's also representing an educational institution in the country, you see. Now, when it comes from Digital Accelerator, when the application were open, at that time, Vodacom worked with the Smart Lab and all those things we see from Smart Lab and then VDA, they're open, and we get into that. Our goal was not, at the first time, our goal is not about what money we'll get out of that accelerator program, you see, but we look like if we went to Vodacom accelerator, Vodacom, it's a brand. Its brand is very visible, credible, and you see, once you tell someone, I've partnered with Vodacom, I'm in this program of Vodacom, and maybe you, at the end, you achieve to be one of the winners of that. It means with the terms that they are going to give you in-kind support at that time of ours. Go to page of Vodacom Tanzania right now. They post our services, Silabu services. Go to their My Vodacom app. You can just buy Silabu bundles to start to use it to start, which are way cheaper bundles for students to learn through our app. When it comes to, we have Silabu courses. Most of the courses we are running together with them. They support you. That is an in-kind support. Leveraging in their subscribers to sell your services. That is very massive. And you are building a technology product. To them, it's like value added. Now, to them, it's a win-win for them. This is a value added services to us. You see, educational product, because they have other educational product. Now they have yours, which works differently from how other educational product they have works. So it's a mutual situation. But what you are leveraging is the customer base. You see, no matter how big it is, but at some point you are tapping into it. But when it comes to, with the nature of the business we are having, when it comes to B2C, both teachers and students are our customers. For us, we term them our customers. So now, these teachers are very hardworking people. Make sure that students are succeeding when it comes to education. They are academically succeeding or achieving their own goals, which they have to achieve. In a term, how students always define success when it comes to education. So we are providing that support. But we need to make these teachers happy so they can save our customers happy. So you can't make them happy maybe by reducing their commission fee, which you are taking from them. Not only that, but can you give them an opportunity to get access to loans? You see, because at some point they are working, but they have bills to pay. And maybe what you are giving them is not enough, even if they accumulate it at the end of the month. So can you at least someone come in and say, I give your teachers small loans. Maybe I want to look at the criteria. What is their retention rate when it comes to customers? How much are they getting? And other criteria, how many bookings they have per month. If you have 8 bookings per month, maybe I can give you this X amount of money. And all those kind of things. So that's why NBC, National Bank of Commerce, come in, partner with Silabu. And it's all about talking with people, reaching out to people. Hey, I have this proposal. Can we do this? Can we do that? You see? And the teachers at the end, they're remaining happy. So that's how NBC, National Bank of Commerce, came in. And also, while we are talking with NBC, we agreed, like, okay, NBC said, you guys, you see that part of a service, but we have this thing called the Chanua account. This Chanua account is for the kids, and we want to empower kids to understand financial literacy at a younger age. So your teachers can have these lessons we prepared to help the kids to learn more about financial literacy. Because you have teachers, you have students. So it's a mutual winning situation. And what then? And Silabu, we say, in order to inspire those kids in the area of financial literacy, what are we going to do? We say, okay, every kid take a class with Silabu. Every month we'll get a retention. We'll get a 5,000 deposit to their Chanua account. So it's all about winning situation. Mm-hmm. And currently we are in a talk with one of the insurance company. We have not signed an NDA, but we want to make our teachers happy, at least to have life insurance, because some of them going to jobs where for offline, they're using motorbike. Accident can happen. How do you take care of them? Someone has broken a leg. Only 100 or 200,000 from syllabus for sorry is not enough. We cut for you those Bima insurance to make sure that the work you do, it's value you. You see? Or we can pay for your Bima and you pay us slowly because you are keeping teaching our kids. But as we pay as a lump sum to those people of Bima, but our teachers, they have Bimas. You see, so it's all about make sure your customers are happy. And if you can do it in terms of partnership with other people, do it, because at the end, it will give you benefits and it will give the other party benefits. Yeah, and you can keep finding more ways of trying to exploring areas which are untapped and tap it. It open mindset of innovation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, that's very interesting. I have something that I'll put on a takeaway. But just curious, with Vodacom, like, have you spoken about, zero rating, the internet usage for Silabu or something like that? Is there conversation? Because we spoke earlier about inclusivity and people adapting to technology.
Sure.
Is there any conversation around that? Because partnering with MNO and, data bundles for probably teachers and students, if they get to put that in zero rate, it could probably accelerate the adaptivity.
Yeah, I do remember Vodacom accelerated our platform during COVID, and it was zero usage of internet. Anyone using smart class at that time. But now when it comes with the issue of Silabu, now they can't zero rate, but they're coming up with a discounted bundle.
Okay.
Bundles which are way cheaper compared to normal bundles. And they can be only used to what? To Silabu app or web app of Silabu, to their users who are using Vodacom services. So they have tried to include everyone. If you get 5 GB per month to use it on other apps like WhatsApp, YouTube, and the other blah, blah, blahs, you can buy it, let's say, for 10,000. But you're not getting it for 10,000 while you want to have 5 GB to learn it at Silabu app. You get it at a total of at least 40%, you see, at a cost of 40%. So you can see you save almost 60% and you're keeping being on internet with that. That partnership is very valuable, and Vodacom, they always care about inclusion, because now you'll be able to reach even people who can't adapt to technology because of the cost of the internet. So the guys, they are doing the best to make sure that Silabu technology or product or services, they reach their customer at every area of Tanzania, not only in towns or cities, but also in those other areas.
Maybe these are like a lesson to a younger entrepreneur. And I want you to reflect it from an angle of, if we take it back 5-6 years back.
Yeah, sure.
And you are to start again with Salvatory, what things would you wish to change in your entire entrepreneurship journey, building Smart Darasa and later Silabu? What would you change then?
That is a very, really hard question. While building, you see things evolving, and you can't wish to change somewhere. Maybe what I can say, you can wish to have changes, but you can't get to notice them if you are not tapping to something. After tapping it, no, this is salt, this is sugar, this is how things goes. So maybe what I can say is you can all start with that passion of doing something. Let's become great. Let's become the leading EdTech startup. Let's do this, let's do that. But if you can sit clearly, legally with people down and understand first the structure of your company, come up with the roles, who has to do this, who has to do that, and everyone is clear, everyone is doing this, and put yourself ambitious targets to make sure we achieve. Make sure you have peaceful working environment between founder, regardless, no matter how much we know each other, how friends we are, but everyone need to have principles on how they are going to work through each other. One thing maybe is work has to be work. If you are working, let's work. Let's do the job. Let's get the job done. And I'm talking about founders because every company is growing because of the founders. If founders separate, the company is going to die. We have that thing of saying, this company won't die, I'll take it there. But there is a missing portion of a cake will always be there. And you'll see like, oh, I'm all alone. How can I get it? How whatever can do it. And it doesn't predict how founders will leave the company. Some they can tarnish how they live. They can tarnish completely the image of that company. And even your image as a professional person, it can be a problem. But I'm trying to talk in a sense of becoming clearly since you're starting. Not be driven with emotions, ambitions, with whatever, but have that knowledge on how to start something with someone. That is very important. And that's why some startup exists for a few days, they're dying. I'm trying to talk general because some people also try to consult me. What was good for you guys? We become clearly, Adam, you'll do this. I'll do this. Everyone respect each other. You see? But we come to understand delegation of roles and whatever when we are already get investment, whatever. Now, when you do the due diligence, people, they want to see this, they want to see that. You see? Mm-hmm. Now you understand, oh, we missed this portion. Oh, we missed this, that. We missed this. So if you have even target to raise funds, whatever, just know what you should have in your data room. Consult founders who have already raised funds. What should I have in data room when I'm early stage, at growth stage, whatever. So try to ask. Those are the things. We rushed we rushed things, but we just come back to get things done so that we can move to another stage. That's what I can say. So I can conclude by saying, getting a wife is easy, but getting a co-founder, it's a very hard thing. Yeah.
Adam, nice, interesting. You have this. Show me yours.
Of course.
Yeah. What does it mean to you?
Okay.
Having a Tanzania emblem like a marker on your hand, I just need to understand from your perspective. What does it mean?
Yeah. So from my end, this one is like, this is my first home. This is a place where I will be. So changes begins with me. This is always means to me. Changes begin with me. You know, sometimes you can blame the government. You can blame it. You're allowed to blame everyone as much as you can. But always Mwalimu Nyerere said, like, what have you done for your country? What have you tried to do for your country? That's why if I carry this, whatever, I'm proud of it. Like, oh, I built an EdTech startup in my country. And I want it to be big. I want it to be great, to be known all over the world. So this help people to pay their bills, teachers their in a living through Silabu, which is started from Tanzania. Students are succeeding academically. They are here from Tanzania. And also personally, I'm growing my career at my own land. So this means a lot to me. Yeah. Changes begin with me for my country.
Adam, thank you very much for your time. Where would people get Silabu? Who is it for? People are making money out of Silabu, right?
Anyone who is at school, at university, they can leverage on platform of Silabu for learning purposes. And so another thing is teachers, graduate teachers, if you are graduated from any college, any university in the country, and you can't find teaching, please subscribe to Silabu. Not everyone will be qualifying to be our teacher, but you can try your best. If you pass through vetting, I think it will be a good opportunity for you to teach students to make impact in their lives, meanwhile you are making money for a living. That is it for Silabu. Silabu is a available platform offline and online. So on our Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, we are using the name Silabu app. So you can just look at it. And if it's offline, we have numbers there. But I can say 0752 156 253. Call us during working hours. You'll get assisted in case if you're a parent, you want a teacher for your students. If you are a teacher, you want to subscribe in our platform, you'll get linked to tutor managers and other people who are working with teachers, and you get connected in as you teach and make impacts to students. Also, to Play Store, to App Store, we are named as Silabu app. You just go search Silabu app. But www.silabu.com, that is for our web app. Yeah, so thanks so much, Mr. Grayson.
Awesome. Guys, that is Adam Duma from Silabu, an actuarial scientist with a great passion in mathematics, who invested and took his time when he finished school to build an edutech startup known as Silabu. Silabu has offered opportunity and now scaled to Kenya and Tanzania. And I believe you've been able to learn. And during our stay here, your stay here on the platform, you've been able to learn great lessons. One key takeaway, if I'm to sum it up, key lesson that I've learned with Adam here is on the partnership angle. So you see the partnership that I've been able to forge with Vodacom, the bank, ABC, and the government. It is the value add that they've been able to give to these partners, the value of being able to add more to their customers. One great leaders I met said, think of what are you going to do to our company? What more customers are you going to bring to our company, rather than what will you do to satisfy more about our company? Like he said, like, we already do that, but what can you bring in more? So you see the partnership like Adam and his team they brought with the bank, let's say, is like they understood the space. The bank's business is on loan, giving loan to people. So they look at that value and probably brought in an agenda of, we have this group of teachers, they have 1, 2, 3, and maybe they can be able to get more loan or more value from you. And let's get to see how partnership will be able to be done. And with that, they've been able to accelerate and boost their growth and increasing visibility and leveraging. You know, they say walk on the shoulders of the giant and to be able to reach further. And they've been able to do that. And I think from now on, like, the story will go on. And I believe there are more people knocking the door.
Of course,
the doors will be open to more partnership.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching Be Agile. If you found the lessons here valuable, please feel free to share it with a fellow entrepreneur, an upcoming startup, whether in edutech, fintech, agritech, and wherever, to be able to learn and be able to build more solutions to empower our economy and generation in Tanzania and Africa in general. Thank you for being here. Enjoy.